Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Loan Officer Breakfast Club. It's a fantastic Tuesday, my friends. We are marching through the month of April. It's already the 8th, April 8th. Isn't there a famous birthday on April 8th? I don't know. I must be thinking something else. Anyway, hey, it's going to be a great day. You know why? Because we have Candice McField in the house. Candice McField. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great, man. It's going to be great because all you people are here, too. Good to see you guys this morning. Frank Seidman, ready to go. What's going on, Frank? How you doing, brother? Herb, man. Herb Levine. Herb Levin, what's up, buddy? How you doing, bro? Good to see you, man. Let's get some sisters in here. Kelly Courier.
Kelly Courier. Let's go.
I got it correct. And Vicky Porter, of course. Vicky, what's going on? What's happening, sister? Good to have you here. All right, Tina Meyer's here too, Carl. Did you see that?
I did.
Right on, man. Jeez, man.
We gotta behave now. We gotta behave.
It's gonna be out of control. We're gonna have to tell everybody, just calm down. Just calm down, man. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Loan Officer Breakfast Club. Hope everybody's doing well today. Let's just go around just for a real quick minute here before we get going. You know, Candice, we just kind of warm the place up a little bit before we bring you on, right? You know what I mean?
Awesome.
Get them a little crazy. You know what I mean? Just so, yeah, you can just come in and just make it happen. First call from H-Town, Latanya Graves. Latanya Graves, how are you? Latanya, it's your first call. You got to unmute. You got to unmute and say hi to us this morning. Come on. You can't just wave in the chat. We would love to chat with you. Say good morning. Where are you? Hi.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm well. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to learn and grow.
Oh, excellent. Well, you picked a great day. It's going to be a little different today because we have Candice McField here, who is a health coach. And so, Latanya, don't you agree it pays to be a little bit healthy in this business once in a while?
I agree with you. Yes, sir.
I do too. You know, I wish I could get my act together on it. Maybe Candice is going to help me out on that. Since last year, Candice, I just want you to know I've done absolutely nothing you told me to do. So, maybe this time around, I'll dive in, man. On the other hand, Carl White has excelled in physical health.
Hey, isn't that what you want everybody to hear, Carl? It's like, Candice, thank you for coaching me. I did absolutely nothing.
Well, she wasn't coaching me, to be fair.
Frank is our poster child. That's
oh my gosh, Frankie.
All right.
Here's the thing, though. If you were on the State of the Mortgage Industry with Carl and Owen, know that it's a series of sprints right now. So we all need this more than ever.
I like the tie-in. I saw what you did there. That's very cool, Kristen.
Yeah.
I tell you, we no morning would be right.
No morning
would be right unless we highlighted Kristen Simpson. All right, Kristen Simpson, always with the comments. All right, so great. All right, well, listen, man. Before we get started, and I'm so happy that Latanya chimed in, being a first timer. Latanya, are you in the mood to get a Loan Officer Breakfast Club T-shirt? What do you think?
Yeah.
She knows the features and benefits, Frank.
There's so many features and benefits. It's craziness, isn't it, Steve? I mean, look, Latanya, I'm going to get you a T-shirt, right? We're going to get you a T-shirt. Look, you're going to have improved FICO scores. You're going to have lower DTIs, lower LTVs. Yeah, it's going to be nuts, man.
Lower loan amounts,
lower
interest rates,
higher reserves, lower rates. Yeah, more income. It's just the only problem you're going to have is figuring out who's going to pay those taxes on all that money you're about to make. That's the problem. So congratulations. You have just won a Loan Officer Breakfast Club T-shirt on your first day, because why not? Why not? It's Carl's money, and he's super generous that way. He loves it. He loves it. Candice, I don't think you got a Loan Officer Breakfast Club T-shirt, did you?
I did not.
Oh, my goodness. We're going to do it. Well, guess what? You're getting one now, Candice McField. Congratulations. You too will have a Loan Officer Breakfast Club T-shirt, one that you can wear during all of your workouts to get even more rock-hard abs.
Well, I was just reminded of a fun fact, Candice.
What's that?
You want to hear my fun fact of the day?
Tell it to us. What is it?
So Steve, do you know what a real thing? Do you know what a group of flamingos is called?
It's probably not what you think. I'd say like a herd.
Yeah, it's not what you think. It's a flamboyance.
No way.
And it really is a flamboyant.
Are you serious?
Yeah, seriously. And I thought about that, Frank, watching you this morning. Just like Like we need to.
I'm like a
Candice,
flamboyance of flamingos, Carl. Is that what you're saying?
So Candice,
Well, I was in the Navy.
I know for most of us, getting energy, which one of the things we're talking about today, getting energy helps us get better results. Do you have some Valium for Frank or something though? Just as a do not put caffeine in his coffee, whatever you do. So Candice, tell us tell us a little bit about you and who you are. And
thank you, Carl. First, let's highlight her. Let's get rid of the spotlight to see the lovely Candice McField. Here she is. Hi, Candice. It's so good to have you here. Now I'm going to give you the cheer. Now you were here back in we figured out 2023. It was December of 2023, right? Yeah.
It was. Yeah. Thanks for having me. Good morning, everybody.
Yeah. And so, Carl, I love the way you're starting this. Tell us about yourself a little bit, what you do, who you help, that kind of thing. And then just move right on into how you can help a bunch of busy, crazy, insane loan officers like us.
A band of renegades.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. You know what? Can I share my screen?
Yes.
Well, I don't have the authority to do that, even though I was in the Navy and I should have full authority. I don't. Boy. So we're discussing that later. But yes, we should be able to give you screen
it's all
abilities.
Set to go. Candice, share away, dear.
I'm good. Okay. All right. Yeah, I figured that'd be easier. 1 second. It says start share with stop. Okay. Here we go. You guys, can everybody see that?
It's getting there. We'll tell you when it takes a minute to show up sometimes, a couple seconds. There it is. Yeah. Got you.
Okay. And then I'll just do this. So now you should see that full screen. Is
Absolutely.
We do. Yep.
Yeah, I figured this would be the easiest way just to kind of go through everything I wanted to like share with you guys, everybody today. So thank you so much for the opportunity to be back. Like Frank said, I was here in December 2023. I'm Candice McField. I live in Kansas City. I'm a Midwest girl. I'm an author. I wrote a book called As For Me and My Body. Since the last time I was here, I also wrote another book called Jesse Vaccinates. I'm an ACE certified health coach. I have like over 15 years of experience. And so what I do is I do one-on-one health coaching for people, for busy professionals, whether they're executives or, administrators, like at the higher level, but on the go, very busy, right? Another service I do is As For Me and My Body. It's all about faith and fitness. So through the book I wrote and an online app that I created, and then also I have a nonprofit called Fight Globesity, which is to help kids become healthy global citizens. So I kind of roam in these three areas, and then I just have the honor to be the Kansas Governor's Council on Fitness. I chair that whole council right now, and then also I do every third Wednesday of every month, I do a segment on Fox 4 News here in Kansas City. I have an MBA. And then just a quick fun fact is for all the military people in the audience, I love sponsoring international military officers. They come here to the Command and General Staff Officer College here in Fort Leavenworth, Kansas. And I've been doing that for 16 years. So just a little bit about myself. And then as before, I just want to start off with my philosophy, because I never want to give people like any type of quick fix gimmicks. Everything I will teach you and I teach others is always going to be long-term and sustainable. And it stems from this, like, if you look at this logo, my philosophy, like, how do you unlock optimal performance? So like you have to have 4 fundamental areas firing at all times. So whether that's nutrition, that's exercise, that's rest, that's understanding your own body, and that's how you start to arise. So we're going to go through those 4 areas, and my goal today is to leave you with practical tips that you can start implementing in your life today. And so another good thing is like, how do you go from good to great? Like, I know as a coach, like what I'm looking for is like to understand not only your goals, but then like, what are those limiting factors that you have? So if we can subtract out your limiting factors and then add in positive behavior goals, that's how you start to arise to a new you. And so I'm hoping that today, like we only have a very limited amount of time, but if you walk away with 1 or 2 things that you can start implementing now, then that's a win, right? And you have to remember it's all about starting small. So let's look at nutrition. So the first thing, like I tell people a lot of times is that just get back on the bandwagon. I think we're very like tough critics sometimes on our own selves. And so, we'll say, oh, well, Candace, I had donuts in the morning, so I'm just going to blow the whole day. Well, instead of blowing the whole day, just get back on the bandwagon as soon as possible as far as eating clean, right? So that's one good tip. And then I think another thing is that we always try to be perfect. And if you wait for perfection, you're going to wait forever, ever. And the thing is, like, if you can just think about 90% accuracy, that's sufficient. So think about it and how many meals like you may eat per day. So for simple math, let's just say if you're eating 5 times a day, then, you know, 7 days a week, that's 35 meals, and then 10%, like you have room for like 3.5 cheat items per week. And I say items and not meals because, people will run with it and say, oh, I ate like Candace, I had a piece or a whole pizza, but really like a slice of pizza is going to be one of your cheat items. So just remember that, 90% accuracy is suffice. I know that if you're doing 90% accuracy, then you're going to be well on your way to meeting your wellness goals. And then I don't have it on the screen here, but I would say one challenge I would want you to think about, or I would recommend, is to think about what is one thing in your refrigerator or your pantries right now that you can eliminate. Like, we're meaning like not that you don't ever have it, but meaning that you have to purposely go to the grocery store to eat it. So for instance, I used to love eating ice cream, right? Like, and I would go to the grocery store, get like the half gallon or whatever, and it was just in my freezer. But years ago, I stopped doing that because I know like I absolutely love it. So I can't do that. So now if I want ice cream, I just go buy that little pint size. And then once I have that pint size, it's gone. So like, what is something nutrition wise that you can do like that where you don't keep it in the house anymore? Because I know that you may be able to bypass that pantry. You may be able to bypass that, opening that refrigerator 3 times, 4 times, but maybe it's that sixth time of going by those things that may get you. So those are a couple nutrition tips for you today. As far as exercise, I know, as loan officers, you're sitting down quite a bit, so you want to make sure you're getting in your movement. But one thing you want to do is whatever your strength training or exercise game plan is, it's important to keep your body guessing always, right? So meaning that whatever you're doing, you need to like do different exercises, you need to switch up your reps and sets, etc. So make sure, number one, you're keeping your body guessing. But I love this number 2 tip, right? So you're going to be doing activities that you love to do and find new activities, because at the end of the day, I don't want exercise to be a chore for you. Like, I want you to fall in love with something. And then there's so many creative outlets. I think people get stuck in the mindset like, oh, Candace, well, I have to go to the gym to work out. No, you don't. Like, you work out right here in your living room. You can rollerblade. You can like play with your kids, your grandkids, like even shoveling snow in the wintertime, right? That's a form of exercise. But the thing is that you want to find things that you love to do, so it becomes fun, and it becomes your lifestyle. So I just would recommend like that challenge for you is to find one new activity to try, or a new hobby. Maybe it's gardening, like the bending up and the bending down, like putting plants in. It's spring right now. So that's my recommendation to you. And I think that as loan officers, like a challenge you can incorporate is like, okay, I'm in meetings all day. Some of you guys may have those stand-up desks where you can walk like on your treadmill. Great. One thing I like to do is sometimes if I don't need to be in front of my computer, I will take a meeting and on the phone, like a regular phone call, and just walk around the neighborhood. So I would say find creative outlets to get in movement per day, even if you just have to walk around your house or your office, or maybe you're walking the flight of stairs at your office building instead of taking the elevator. But right, it's going to be about all those small wins adding up to.
And Candice,
the
is there
big.
is there a certain
Yeah.
amount of like I think, most of us are walking around with either one of these or actually I don't have it on, but or the iWatch thing when we can, we can see what our steps are. I'd say probably
Sure.
98% of us, not 100%. Is there a certain amount of steps like that's kind of recommended for if our primary thing is walking, is there a certain amount of steps we should do each day?
Yeah, it's 10,000.
10,000.
So yeah, you'll see that
And
kind of across.
that's more than 433, right? I'm just clarifying.
It's a little bit
I'm just
more than
clarifying. Okay, okay,
403.
okay.
I'm curious,
That's
like
actually not that much. That's not that much.
how far is that though? 10,000? Is that like a quarter mile? Is it a half a mile? Any correlation? Like,
Yeah. It's I want to say like 2,000 steps is about 1 mile. So
oh,
yeah. So it's about
that's a
5 miles.
lot of steps. Yeah.
It's a lot, but I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can get steps in, right?
Mm,
Even if you just start your day off with walking, or exercising, that probably takes care of almost 50% of your steps right there for the day.
Mhm.
mm,
So then it becomes about the small things, right? Take the stairs and not the elevator. Park in the back of the parking lot instead of closest parking space to the door and things like that. So.
mm.
So in other words, when we go to the gym, we don't have to find that spot right next to the door or ride around for 15 minutes looking for a spot by the door. We
Right.
can park on the other
No.
side of the parking lot where there's plenty of
Yeah.
parking
You know
and
what? You
walking
don't
to
even
the
have
gym.
to you don't even have to drive to the gym, right? Maybe you walk to the gym if you're close enough. Maybe you
Mm.
jog to the gym. So,
Mhm.
right, there's always creative ways to do different things. So, let me push through because I want to make sure we get to like Q&A. So,
Yeah.
number one, as far as sleep, I think as Americans, especially, sometimes we don't value sleep, right? Because we live in this go, go, go society. So, number one, I think we have to learn how to value sleep, meaning we have to learn how to prioritize. Like, you know what? We really do need 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night, or 6 to 8 hours per night for our bodies to be in an optimal state. So I hope that you value your sleep, and if you don't, maybe. And it took me years to realize this, but you do feel so much better. I would just say if you're like Candace, I really don't need sleep. I would say run a challenge with yourself where you do get like that much sleep for like a week and compare how you feel versus when you don't get that sleep, right? But another thing is to establish some type of bedtime ritual. And so, meaning that, like, how can we help our brain shut down so we can relax to get that proper sleep? And I struggle with this as far as like shutting my brain down because as an entrepreneur, like, there's always a million things in my head. So what I do is number one, my phone like automatically goes to do not disturb 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. So it's just kind of like my me time. And then also I'll stretch every night, like just to like a total body stretch, just to get my body just to relax. And it just feels good to get
Mm.
those stretches in. So I would just challenge everybody here. Like maybe you're getting in 15 more minutes of sleep per night, and then maybe graduate it up to 30 more minutes, etc. Um, and then here we go. So if you remember that those 4 quadrants, now we're kind of at that genetics icon. I always preach to people like, listen to your body, listen to your body, listen to your body, right? Because you're the best person to know what's going on. Like your doctor, you're talking to your doctor 15 minutes at an appointment or whatever, but you internally, I want you to be so in tune with what your body is telling you to do, right? So you have to know when to push, and you have to know like when to like, oh, you know what, that's like really pain. Let me take a step back. So be in tune with your body, and then also just remember that it's a lifestyle. I think that we all want this transformation like in 2 days and a week, but the reality is it takes a lot of time and a lot of sacrifice and a lot of discipline. So just remember that it's a lifestyle that's going to take a lot of time and dedication. And then if I could just leave you with like a few tips. So just jump in at that pool and start swimming. I think that people are hesitant. They just want like, oh, let me lose 5 pounds first and then go to the gym. No, just go out and just start doing it, right? Just as Nike's slogan says, just do it. And that's one thing with our exercise. You don't have to have it all figured out. And then also, I think keeping it simple, right? It doesn't have to be complex. I think we figure out, oh, I need to do this amount of, I don't know, ab exercises, and we overcomplicate things as adults. So like if you can just keep your routine simple, especially in the beginning, you're going to be well on your way to hitting your results, and then take things one day at a time. We can sometimes look at that bigger picture and just be overwhelmed. And so, you know what, just figure out, this is what I need to do today. Today I need to do my 30 minutes of walking, or today I need to do my strength training exercises, whatever it is. Just focus on whatever you have going on today. And the last tip there is just to never give up. So yeah, that's what I wanted to leave you with. Like I said at the beginning, I do a few things. If you're interested, Frank, I know you're going to send out a PDF for people to contact
Yes.
me. So that PDF looks like this, where, like I talked about before, I do one-on-one health coaching through C-Suite Fit. I have As For Me and My Body, Faith and Fitness, and this is my nonprofit, Fight Obesity. And then additionally, like if you guys ever need any more services for your teams or corporate wellness, you know, I do motivational speaking, C-suite roundtables, fitness comms. Please feel free to contact me. There's the loan officer breakfast discount code is LOBC. There's 10% off, and it expires at next Tuesday. So yeah, I don't know if we have time for questions or.
Yes, we do. We certainly do.
Okay.
And I just want to remind everybody too, because I've been thinking about you, Candice. First of all, big cheers to you.
Thank you.
And then Jen has put the PDF into the chat for everybody, so you guys have the PDF in the chat. You can download that. But something that I think is good for us to know as originators when it comes to you and the help that you can provide, because you have such great ways to access you, right? There's, of course, you do the one-on-one stuff, right? But you do have the app that you've created where you can engage with multiple people. So the people on this call can engage with you and get the help and get the, get the coaching. But also, guys, think about this from a corporate standpoint for your company, right? I don't know how many mortgage companies, and maybe you can let us know in the chat if yours does, but how many corporate mortgage companies help their loan officers with health? You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't think a lot, and I think it would be a neat thing to do. And especially if it could be delivered at a reasonable price point, which you have available, Candice, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, and plus your whole coaching model revolves around the busy executive, the busy loan officer, the busy people like us. I just think for guys here in the chat, download the PDF, maybe run it up the flagpole corporately, just to say, hey, why don't we help our loan officers with health? Like, especially if it's a very reasonable thing, like it's not like it's some absorbent amount of money, but it's something that I think would be very, very beneficial. Of course, personally, if that doesn't happen, of course, on a corporate level, personally, Candice has multiple ways to engage with her that are very, very reasonable. And why not, right? Why not? So, but yeah, questions, Yolanda, you've got a question. What do you got? Yolanda. You're there.
I'm here.
You're there.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought I was on mute. All right. Thank you so much. Great presentation. And my question is about mental health. You talked a lot about physical health, keeping the body moving, but this profession has really, really been very impactful, negatively impactful on my mental health, because on a day, in a single day, we can go from very high to very low. Somebody cancels a contract, something falls through, your clients are mad with you because you didn't log the rate. Just the one single day, 1,001 things can happen that just affects you and just messes with your mental health. So my question is, what is the best way to keep alive, alert, positive, optimistic, up and going mentally, so that everything that is going on with markets, with rates, with clients, with lenders, everything doesn't just put you down?
Yeah, no, a great question. And mental health is very important, right? Like there's that saying, like mental health is the new wealth, right? And I think it's a component of wellness, right? Like today, like I kind of spoke on just about the physical aspect, but like as for me and my body, like we bring in the mental aspect, the career life balance, the spiritual aspect. But how do you do mental health? Like, I think one, you have to like ground yourself, like whatever your belief is. I don't know, but maybe ground yourself, like whether that's meditation, maybe that's prayer. Start your day off with that. I think no, secondly, working out does so much, right? Releases those endorphins. Like, I don't know, have you just had a bad day and then you work out and you're like, ah, I just feel so much better. So I would just suggest that, you do whatever, like walking or riding bikes or whatever, some type of workout to keep that mental health balanced as well. And then the third thing is, I think the power of visualization. My softball coach in high school taught us this method years ago. Like, just continue to visualize like yourself. Like, yes, it was a bad day. Yes, there's rates and the changes and all these distractions, but visualize your success and visualize where you see yourself. I don't know, a year from now or 3 years from now. Just keep seeing that and replaying that in your mind. And it really is a powerful tool to use. So, and it's just a way to defeat those negative thoughts as well. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, thank you for the question.
Yeah. Any other questions for Candice? Anybody?
Candice, I think, for me, so I do a lot of bicycle riding.
Yep.
And in fact, this morning I just got off of for about 2 hours. I go for a ride when it's super early. We got a bicycle trail here, so it's it's well lit and it's safe to ride at night. There's no cars, of course. It's all just bicycles. But I tell you, when I miss a day on that thing, man, I feel stressed for the day. That's my Zen time, and it's like I can sit here and think thoughts, and I get all these racing of thoughts. But I get on that bike, or if I'm going for a walk or something like that, I don't know. It just clears my head, and it seems like it's the only time I can think one thought at a time and don't have all this craziness going inside. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. I absolutely love that because, for me, like, I feel like when I'm doing cardio, like whatever method, I too love riding my bike outside and everything. But whatever cardio I'm doing, I feel like sometimes I have the best aha moments and the most clear thoughts, like, just come to me as far as business. So it really is that time, like, I can shut everything else out and just kind of like think. And just have sometimes that peaceful alone time that a lot of us, we don't get because of all the different hats that we wear. So I agree.
I keep a little recorder on my handlebar.
Nice.
And
that's awesome.
Oddly enough, the other place I get a lot of my great thoughts for some strange reason, and I hear this is more common than what you would think, is in the shower. I don't know, something about the shower. So I've got a little grease. I got a little grease board, literally. In my shower where I can jot down notes. My wife got upset about me using her lipstick. I
was just going to say, poor Maria dealing with you.
I do. So something exercise and shower, just two great places,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a certain amount of time, Candice, like on a daily basis that I want to elevate my heart rate for a certain amount of time? Is there and instead of talking miles, is there a time thing that I'm wanting to do that for?
You mean like in the morning? Like, should you elevate your heart rate in the morning? I'm sorry.
Either morning or afternoon. Like per day. Should I have a 30 minutes of elevated heart rate or 45 minutes, or is there a certain time to do that?
I would say have an elevated heart rate, right? Because you're meaning you're exercising, but I don't really care what time you do that at. Like, my thing
the length of time is what I'm asking. Like, is there
the length of time? Yeah. So like the recommended guidelines is like 30 minutes of it's said moderate exercise or activity, right? So your elevated heart rate doesn't have to be like in this high, crazy, intense zone. Maybe that's like that for 5 minutes, but it doesn't need to be like 30 minutes of like this intense, crazy high heart rate zone. Yeah. So what I was gonna say is like, just work out. I don't care. Like, when can you be the most consistent is the question I thought you were going to ask. So I would just tell people, it doesn't matter, morning, afternoon, night, just whenever you can be the most consistent.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
All right. Well, we got Rudy and we got Steven. Rudy, go.
I'm just trying to get over the Carl in the shower with a whiteboard.
Yes, indeed. Thank you.
There's a visual image that'll damage you for a while.
Yeah. There will be a video from Carl's steamy shower. Hey, gang, I was just thinking about this in the shower. Yeah, go ahead.
Question, what's your, I mean, I understand, Carl, as far as the workout, my team always uses that as a point to be able to be passive aggressive with me. They say, "Oh, you didn't work out today." It kind of like it affects everything. So
Right.
I absolutely understand that. What's your take on these GLP-1 drugs? I'm just curious.
Yeah.
I don't know very much about them, but I've heard a
Yeah.
lot about.
What are they? What is it?
Okay, the weight loss drug, that's what you're referring to, right, Bill? Yeah. So, okay, I think there's a time and place for something like that for everybody. Like personally, I've never been one to struggle with weight. I haven't, but there are people out there that have always struggled with weight, and maybe they are 400 pounds, 500 pounds, whatever, and perhaps that's for them the only way they can to come down to a healthy weight, right? So is there a time and place? Yes. Now, my preference is for people to put in the hard work, the dedication, and sacrifice and do it naturally. I'm always going to be a natural proponent of doing things naturally. So my heart is like, I wish more people did not do those because we don't understand the long-term side effects of what all those drugs perhaps are going to do to people long term. But I do have a heart and compassion for those that have perhaps always struggled with weight and like I said, are kind of like on that high end and need the extra help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Steven, I see you have a question.
More of a question and then a statement.
Sure.
I've played professional baseball. I've had nutritionists
Oh,
and
yeah.
weight programs, and
Of course.
I'm I was part of Beachbody for a while, but where
Yeah.
do you sit with electrical muscle stimulation?
Oh, where like I like where you had to put the electronic like on your VMO,
Yeah,
like
well,
in the thigh
I'm
area.
saying not replacing working out with it. I'm just saying, where do you sit with it, with implementing it with for accelerated visceral fat loss?
So we're all clear on this, though. Clear that up for us, because that can mean a lot of things to a lot of people right now.
Okay, so they sell different devices. Back in the day, you would probably see the people with that belt around them that shakes them, right?
Okay.
That does nothing.
Yeah.
But recent study, well, it does stuff, but not to the levels that might be beneficial. But recent studies have shown that if you can stimulate the muscle to contract it, like doing a crunch, for example, when you contract and then release the contraction of the muscle, you're working and stimulating that muscle. They sell devices that go on
so, and electrocute your muscles, and then
it will contract and
okay,
act as though you're working out with them.
Yeah. Yeah, and then in the chat here it says, "Do you mean a TENS machine?" Like, so that's where, Stephen, I thought you were going with that question. Like, because I remember I actually had to do it when I tore my ACL and my muscle just wouldn't come back. So they like the physical therapist used it to help my muscles recover. So again, I don't know, it's a little cliche, but like a time and place for it, right? I don't think does everybody probably need to do it? Probably not. But like if it gives you a little like extra stimulus and motivation to get started in your workout routine, then why not? But is it probably sustainable long term? Probably not, right? So I don't know. It's one of those things. I think I'm in the middle of the road for that. I don't want people working out like, oh, let me just always do this electronic stimulus and not have the other lifestyle habits, the fundamental habits before that, right? Because either way, everything's going to fall off if you don't have the discipline and the sacrifice, etc. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Because I know they do it with rehab and physical therapy to basically help stimulate and strengthen the muscle, right? So that's where it all started, is rehab. So they've implemented into the health field of basically they've recognized in studies that it does target visceral fat as well, because you're operating that muscle, and that muscle, when it strengthens, will burn that visceral fat. The other part that I just had was the mental side of it. When we aren't mentally right, it's our cortisol that basically will elevate. And our cortisol, if we have high levels of cortisol, we'll never lose weight. It's just your body fighting against, depletion. So you got to get that mental side in check. And like Candice said, exercise is that best part of, going out, running, take it walking, then jog a little, put it into, work yourself to high intensity trainings, and that will automatically put your mind in a better place.
So thanks, Steve. Thank you, man. Awesome input. Candice, one more thing. Just if we did want to just lose some weight, you know what I mean? Is it, out of the four things, right? Like is it diet is number one, right? Is it just diet? Is it going to be the main thing that's going to help the most? Is that it?
Well, I like to say like they are all mutually
sure.
exclusive. Like you got to have all areas firing, but nutrition can go a very long way, meaning that like there are times when you can't work out, whether you're ill or, I had a surgery. I had a myomectomy like 2 years ago, and I couldn't work out for 6 weeks due to doctor's order. So all I could do was walk. So during those 6 weeks, I had to make sure like what I ate was even more clean or healthy than what I typically do. So I think if you had to start somewhere, if you had to pick one, I would say like you could do so much with your physique transformation just with eating better. And maybe you're just starting like take out one item, take out a couple items or whatever. But yes, nutrition can go a long way because the reality is you can work out a lot, but if you're eating junk, then you're not going to see that body transformation that you're wanting. Right. So nutrition is very critical.
Yeah. Somebody put in the chat, it's 80%. Would you say that's about right?
I don't like to say a percent, right? Because I mean, honestly, I would say like, nutrition is, you need 100% of everything, nutrition, exercise, rest, understand your body. But if you want to pick one, I would say nutrition is a great component to start
with that one.
Yeah.
Start with that one. Well, good stuff.
Important.
Awesome stuff. Thank you for being here, Candice. So great.
I'm
going to actually, I've got a handful of people that I'm already thinking of that I'm going to refer you to start getting you circulating through the mortgage industry a little bit here. You know what I mean? To where you could start to maybe get to meet some more people, kind of a thing. So, and they could get to meet you. Let's get her. Hey, Jen, can you be fair? I know we're behind, but can you upload the PDF one more time for people to download if they want to download it? So we'll get that uploaded for you guys one more time. Always a pleasure to have everyone here as usual. And Candice, so glad to have you back. We'll have you back again. Thank you so much for everything you do. Thanks for your sharing today. Yeah. And thanks for making yourself available with the multiple ways that you've done that. That's super, super cool. And so we'll get out of here. So you guys have a great day. Yeah, you guys know what to do today. It's Tuesday, Just Ask Tuesday. So get it on, man. Let's call the people in our database. All the people in our active transactions, borrower, co-borrower, both realtors, title, insurance. Give them a little update and ask them if they know anybody else that could use your help, right? That's what we're doing today. You guys have a great day. We'll be here tomorrow and do it all over again at the Loan Officer Breakfast Club. Adios, my friends. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Candice. Just like she said, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just do it.
Just do it. Exactly.
Do it. Yeah. Have a great day, everybody.